And really important today to recognize for all you who are passing by that today is Okinawa Memorial Day. Today we are commemorating 50 years of the ravage of the island of Okinawa, of the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Okinawans, American military and Japanese troops. And I'm sorry, bear with me, my goodness, it is hot out here. I just would like to mention quickly Veterans for Peace, that we are an organization that has been together for the last 40 years, working every day for peace on the planet, for peace in our country. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention what is going on in this country, in the United States today. Today, it seems we have been occupied by the National Guard in Los Angeles and by ICE in every major city and rural community in this country. And those of us who are standing here for peace, say, get them out of our communities. We don't want them. We support new immigrants. We support them. That's what this country is based on.
ICE out! ICE out! ICE out!
ICE out! ICE out of New York City. Today in New York City, they're going into hospitals and they're going into schools and they are dragging out people they claim are not documented. And they call people illegals. And we say to them, no human being is illegal. All humans are human beings wherever they come from. And I'm sorry, I'll start on my speech for Okinawa Memorial Day because it is so important a day for all of us to recognize. I think we all remember that the Typhoon of Steel, the bloodiest battle of the Pacific War, ended today, 50 years ago. It involved bloody hand-to-hand combat, and it included the civilian population of Okinawa. It was the largest landing by Americans during the war on the Pacific. World War II, and I know it takes a lot for us to remember, World War II ended with the deaths of over 60 million people. Nearly 2/3 who were killed were civilians. And that's what our military continues to do today. We talk about military targets, we talk about the deposits in Iran as being something as a target, but we don't talk about how many people are being killed because our government, the United States, continues to bomb places like Iran and continues to arm Israel to continue their bloody genocide on Gaza and on the people. And it's time that we said, no, we who are standing here are for peace and social justice. And it would be great if some of you who are walking by, I'm okay, would stay and listen to us.
Yes.
I usually start today, and I was here a year ago, but I start today thinking about the many who died and gave their lives in the Second World War, one of whom was my father, who was a lieutenant in the Marine Corps. He was killed July 22nd on landing in Guam in the Pacific. I never grew up knowing my father except through pictures and other people's stories. And it's a reminder to me and to all of us that we must have known someone who died in war and understand what has happened to that family, to those people who never knew their loved one. I just grew up with other people's memories. And that's what happens every day in our ongoing slaughter in Gaza, in Iran, in Yemen, in other places in the world. And that's a memory that I think is really important for all of us to understand the history of the United States government. I wanted to also mention to you, a very close friend of mine lives in Tehran, and she sent me a copy of a flyer that was being distributed there. It says, imagine someone telling the entire population of New York, Tokyo, or Mexico City, you have to leave now. We're going to bomb. That is what is happening with Tehran. And a reminder, it isn't just on Saturday and Sunday of the past weekend. Israeli bombers continue to bomb Tehran today. And what she said is Tehran isn't a village. It's a massive, complex city, home to 15 million people. Telling people to evacuate isn't a warning, it's an excuse. You're planning to bomb, then blame the victims for not running. This is mass murder with a press release. And our government continues to support the Israeli government. So let me go back to Okinawa and give a short history that I think is so important for all of us. The United States occupied Okinawa for 27 years until 1972, when the United States turned Okinawa over to Japan. So important to remember that Okinawa and the Okinawan people have their own history, that they were a separate country, a separate people, and a separate kingdom until Japan came in and took them over. We don't really talk about that very much. Today, Okinawa Prefecture, as it is called by the Japanese, contains the largest number of U.S. bases in the world. About 80,000 troops are stationed on Okinawa. And think about this. It's 70% of all the U.S. bases in Japan, on less than 1% of the land that Japan itself occupies. It contains 80,000 United States troops, and it contains their families and their relatives on multiple bases. The numbers continue to increase. Every time we see an announcement in the New York Times or another news media that there is, quote, a threat from Korea, there is a threat in China, or there is a threat somewhere else in the world, the Okinawans continue to suffer with the increased population of this very small piece of land. Missile bases have been built on two of the smaller islands, a constant reminder for Okinawan people of the military prowess of the United States. A foreign military base that is over 8,000 miles away. And let me ask you all, would we tolerate having any bases from any other country on this country? Would we tolerate that? So what do we say to our government is get the bases off of Okinawa. Get them out now. Oh my goodness, everybody's so warm. And we need to keep our voices heard. It is so important today when we all are witness to what is going on, to the destructive force of this administration in Washington. We need to keep our energy up, and we need to continually, I think, educate people about what we are doing. Because in Gaza, the genocidal war continues. People are starving, and not only are they starving and continuously being bombed by Israel with the support of the war manufacturers in this country, with the support of our government, of the government of the United States, not only are the people in Gaza starving, but when they go to get some sort of supplies, some flour, they then are gunned by the Israeli military. Please think about it, folks, and think about it happening here in New York, that some force is going to bomb this city. And what do? They drop flyers on us saying, evacuate, evacuate, New Yorkers. And what do? We need to understand that when all people are harmed and when our government is doing it, it's our responsibility to stop it. Let me just talk for a couple minutes about the Henoko Bay coastal areas. There have been plans for years to dig up that area to destroy the natural environment. And we've tried for years to stop this. And yet today, there are workers that continue on driving sand piles to shore up the soft seabed on the north side of Henoko, because they want to relocate a United States airbase, an airbase from this government, from the United States, to destroy the natural habitat off the coast of Henoko. We in Veterans for Peace, and let me just say to all of you who are passing by, we are veterans of the United States military, the military of this country, and we're saying no more war. We stand in solidarity with the Okinawan people to demand the removal of American troops and U.S. bases. And we will continue our struggle.
We're veterans for peace.
We are veterans for peace.
We're veterans for peace.
And today, I stand before you as an American veteran, as the daughter of an American Marine killed in the battle for the Pacific in 1944, to commemorate all those who were killed in the last battle of the Pacific War. 100,000. The numbers are quite extraordinary, but 1,000 lives lost. And a reminder that 60%, 70% of those killed in World War II were civilians. That includes children, it includes women, it includes non-combatants. And that is what this country and this military continues to do all over the world. 1/4 of the population of Okinawa was killed during this battle. 100,000 Japanese troops. 1/4 of the population of Okinawa was killed during this battle that ended on June 23rd. And I ask us all to stop for a moment and remember the meaning of this day, that it's Okinawa Memorial Day, that it is probably one of the most important Memorial Days we commemorate, because Okinawans, and I really am struck by this, remember all the lives that were lost during this battle. And in the Okinawa Memorial Park, there are memorials built to the American lives lost, to the Japanese lives lost, and to the Okinawans' lives that were lost. So today, what we in Veterans for Peace ask, that we stand side by side, hand in hand, to heal the wounds of war that are continuing, and to do everything in our power to stop the wars that are raging all over the world, to stop our military, both inside our cities that are trying to take over Los Angeles, and certainly ICE, that we say we're going to stop them because they do not represent our values, which are for peace and for recognizing the humanity of all humans on the earth. And that we will not be silent.
Not be silent.
We will not be silent.
Not be silent.
We want you who keep walking by to recognize that this country has started a war with Iran, a war on the people of Gaza. They continue the war on the Okinawans. And we who know what is going on in the world have a responsibility to stop it. So stand with us and say, no more war.
No more war.
No more war.
No more war.
No more ice in our community.
No more ice in our community.
Get ice out of our communities, whether it's the city or the rural areas. We're saying they don't represent us and certainly our values. And we will continue to struggle together for peace and justice in the world. From Okinawa to Palestine to Iran, we demand a ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. End occupation, militarism, colonialism. Stand with us. And we say, no more war. Peace now. Thank you all.
No more war.